I call you support already! Bopian meow!
2,000 years later.
Where are you, support?
And welcome back, guys, to Monster PC. Today we're gonna talk about the open concept of PCs, the world of the untouchables, or the world that most people are not into, but we're gonna talk about it so you guys know more about the things that are, good about open PC, open concept PC. So these are actually for the people with an acquired taste.
Nice.
Okay, or benchmarkers who actually like to swap out parts to test and stuff like that, and also for those people who I think want those statement piece on their desk, so they could actually not use the expensive desk and have a really statement piece PC, like as if you have a Malayan on your desk, and it makes people come by and look at it and they're like, oh wow, that's a very unique PC.
So let's start off with the PC, what we have actually featured here lah. So this Thermaltake created a lot of open case PCs like the P3 and the P6, and now over here actually we have the AH T200. It's like a helicopter theme lah.
Yeah, I think the difference with this one is like a cockpit style design, right, from Thermaltake. So I think of course one of the questions that I'm going to ask you, how different is it as compared to Thermaltake's P3 or P6 like you mentioned?
Okay, so in Singapore we do sell open casing, and mostly it's by brands like Thermaltake. Thermaltake have this P3 and P6. So P3 is like open case, okay, with tempered glass, and they give you the riser, I think so, the riser bracket, so you can put your GPU vertically or even horizontally also can. But for P6, I think they can do closed or even open. Okay, what I mean by closed, meaning that it's like a normal PC lah. You can put the glass to make it closed, and the open concept like the P3, but it's bigger only. But for this AH T200 is a bit different. It's not like closed or open, but it's considered open, but it's a theme. So basically, people that buy this kind of theme PC is more towards a showcase, a different showcase kind of.
It's a bit different from the traditional P6 or 3.
It's a lot different.
Well, if I don't know, man. I feel like the P6, like what you mentioned, is like a transformer configure, like an Optimus Prime or something where you can change between the hybrid, between closed and open. I think that's kind of cool as well.
Yes.
The P3 is a fully open concept. And then now we got this, the AH T200, which is definitely a different sight to see, right? And all about when we talk about looks and all, I think the question that I think comes to most viewers are, why would people consider open concept cases, or what are the good things about it? Maybe we can share to everybody.
So the good thing about open case, right? You can you need a lot of fans, but the fan is just for aesthetic only. Look, because it's open case, so all the fresh air can come from every side, right? But of course, some cases you need to have a bit of exhaust lah. But also open cases. What is that? Let me think. What good about open cases? Actually, nothing good. Okay, so some good about open cases also, you can most likely get an METX, ATX case, and also a bigger casing also for open case. And also, I mean, open cases is good for benchmarking. But we're not talking about those P3 and everything. Benchmarking is like really really a simple one. But normally people don't use that as a case. I have some friends use it as a case. They like the kind of exposed, the fully exposed one. So, but for me, I do not like that kind of casing. I still prefer that kind of P3 because it's still, you're able to showcase with the tempered glass and everything.
So when we talk about good points, what do you think about the challenges that people in this this area or this space where they like the open concept, what are the challenges they're gonna
Okay,
face?
challenges, there's a lot. First of all, for beginners, builders, right, please do not buy an open case because it's very hard to install. It's not like a traditional kind of case that you can install. And to make matter worse, right, some open case is really open. The P3 and the P6, they have this cover at the back so you can all hide the cable on the side. But this fella over here, right, you cannot hide. So you must find ways how to hide the cable, make it neat and everything. Right? So that's one of the points. I mean, it looked nice lah for the helicopter, but the point of building it, I spent about seven hours of building this just to hide the cable and everything, and how to squeeze all the radiator and etc. The next thing will be dust, right? PC will confirm have a lot of dust, but traditional PC, right? The dust, not a lot because we have fan filters and everything, but open case is like there's no dust filter, there's no cover and everything, so all the dust will come around.
I think this is the myth busters part, like where we talk about dust. Like some people might think that open concept, wow, it's better, I just take off the one side and I can just blow all the dust away. But I think the concept about having a traditional PC where you actually have dust filters, the salt and grain of the dust is very different. So basically it's like, one, you're gonna have thicker dust, and as compared to the traditional one, maybe it's a little bit more finer, it's a little easier to get it off.
I noticed a lot of those new BTOs user, right, they want to get their own PC that I want to go for the open concept, I want to put it on the wall, etc. That's where the dust came in, because you're doing renovation and outside is actually very dusty. Confirm the dust a lot one, confirm one. But next thing, how to clean. Okay, open casing, right, very easy to clean, but you have a lot of dust and you need more time to clean up because you need the electric blower and everything. Okay, the electric blower is not the leaf blower. No. Okay, so I can introduce you guys one of the electric blowers. You can buy it on Lazada or Shopee. It's just about $20, I think. Yeah, you need a cam blower. I think cam blower is a waste of money. You can use the electric blower, it's very strong. But you also need a brush, a soft brush to wipe away the dust on the motherboard. Okay, so open concept, motherboard, graphic card will have a lot of dust. Anything that have fans intake will have a lot of dust also.
But it's funny, right? Like, think of like easier cleaning, but actually it takes more time to clean.
Of course, a lot of dust.
Yeah, which is a very weird and like almost a opposite kind of topic we're talking about. It's like, like it should be easier, but it becomes harder, or it requires more time.
Yeah, another thing is the cost of this kind of open case. Okay, it's not cheap actually. You thought open case like fewer materials, right? But it's not cheap. Like for example, this case costs about 229. A P90 will cost about 229, and the P6, of course, the bigger one will cost about 279. But 27, with me, I'll go with the P6 because you can do closed or open concept, and actually the closed concept is also a glass one also, so it's quite nice also.
So I guess I think so lah. I think the transformer one is nice because like you get the look of a bit of the traditional one when you feel like it, and when you feel adventurous at night, maybe a little bit kinky, then you change it up and have the open concept.
But of course the P6 you need the space because P6 is very
it's huge.
Very huge.
That's
the thing.
So, about today, the AH T200, what do we think, or your personal thoughts? We're gonna share about our personal thoughts
about this casing actually. So, from the builder side of you, right, take very tedious. Like I said, you need a lot of time to actually install everything and know where to hide. And the worst thing is, let's say you want to put two HDD behind, and maybe you want to put an SSD, where should I put? So it's very hard to know how to build it. All this. If let's say you have no HDD and SSD, that's very simple. But also next thing is the cable. Where can you hide? Because like traditional cable, right, you can hide under the shroud behind the case and just lock, right? You cannot see it at all. But for open casing like this, right, you need to know how to hide the cables. And some of the case there's limited of how to mount the radiator also. Like for this case, you can't mount a 360, obviously, but of course for the P3 and P6 you can mount. So anything you mount, right, okay, and radiator, the space also will have dust, so you actually have to clean out the radiator. So it's a bit hard compared to the traditional one. Traditional, I think, don't have a lot of dust. But on your own opinion, will you get this casing or not? As a user point of view.
I think on a user end, I have too many things to say. But if you're the kind of person, right, that like this kind of cockpit style, open-ish concept,
Or you want to hang on the wall.
or you are in this space, you know, you belong to this space, you know, I will respect your choice, and I think, you know, maybe it's nice to see, but personally for me, I do not think I will get something like that. I think, you know, in my head it's like, wow, you know, there's a bold thing to do, and it's something, you know, I couldn't do it for myself. And if you are those kind of guys who do it, then come, I clap for you, you know, I will clap for them. But in other words, from what I see, at least for this build that we have today, you know, from one side, it really it looks nice. It can present your parts nicely, I would say, but it is for the people with a quiet taste. Not everybody's gonna like it. So depending to you, if you really like it, then you know what? Who am I to say, you know, your PC sucks or something?
Another thing that comes with aesthetic PCs is always come with a price, right? Because you need to put RGB. For this kind of case, an open concept, it's always the aesthetic. It's nothing to do with the performance because the air cooling will be there already. Open casing. So you have spent a lot of money on aesthetic like RGB fans, etc. So, for example, if you're doing this kind of case, you want to have more RGB fans, you need to get the better fans like QL, Corsair fans, which have a two-sided one. No, there's two-sided one, or the Linley fans that we just did with the other video. The RGB is two-sided, so it looks nicer. So everything nice with RGB will cost more. So when you're building or even like planning to build this kind of casing, right, you must take inclusive of RGB fans. There's no point you do a open casing then all black fans, right? I mean, sometimes yes lah, some aesthetic they like this kind of full black, but I think that a lot of people will buy this kind of casing will put more RGB stuff inside also.
So this is where I actually ask you guys whether you prefer the open case desktop or the traditional ones where you probably have right now on your desk. But you know, if you ever, you know, you are thinking about getting this open case desktop, you know, for your own build, for your own liking, and you are those people in the space, then you can DM Monster PC as well. They will give you their professional views on what you want to get, what you're trying to achieve. Then, you know, you guys will know better about the PC that you want to build. But other than that, see you on the next video.
Bye bye.